welcome to November 2nd. And let's gobble up these October numbers and get your October bookkeeping done. So excited to be here. I can't wait to see how this month goes. I am learning some new things. So I know that Kimry is here already. And we have four other people, and I can't tell who is here and who isn't. I don't like that part. But if you want to join me live on the screen, ask questions, chat a little bit, you can click the link that I put in the chat. Let's see, Kimry says she's ready. Let's play numbers. Melissa is here showing support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you. All right. Well, if you have questions, feel free to ask the questions. If you don't have questions, I was thinking that I might just kind of show some pictures of the workbook so that people that are watching this can get an idea of what some of you are using and go through that a little bit. Otherwise, get to entering your stuff because now is the time. So let's see how I share my screen here. I'm still trying to figure this out. So I know that there's a way to share my screen. There's got to be a way to share my screen. So Cameron is trying to download StreamYard. No problem. All right, well, let's bring Kimry on. Hi. You're still muted. Hi.
Hello.
You're still muted. Okay,
let's see.
Yeah.
Hi. Hello.
Still muted.
Oh, there's a lag.
Oh.
There's a lag.
Turn the YouTube off? Or mute the YouTube?
Okay, is that better?
Yes! Yay! Hey, we're all learning here. We just learn together. I love it. All right, are you getting your accounting done?
I broke my arm Saturday, so I'm one-armed.
That's right.
So I'm struggling with a lot of things, but I'm working on it.
Is it your writing arm? Your writing hand?
Yes, right here. I'm fixing to go to the orthopedist after this call.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah. My son did my hair.
Hey, we do what we can do. Nobody's here. We're not judging anybody. We're just here to support each other, get the bookkeeping, accounting knocked out, answer any questions anybody has. That is just helping each other grow. That's the whole point. So we're up to 10 people watching. Yay. Thank you guys so much for coming. If you don't have the workbook and would like to take a look or maybe purchase it, there's a ticker that I just learned about, and it's running across the bottom of the screen. So on how to get it, the link is also in the description below. And if you do love the workbook already, then you can become an affiliate and earn some money every time when it's sold. So I am thrilled to be learning more about StreamYard and how I can bring people on and they can ask questions. And I'm still not doing great with the screen share, obviously. I guess I'm just going to have to come in here. Oh, wait, present. Yay, I found it. And I got locked up. What happened? Are we still there? Uh-oh.
I see you, but no screen share.
Okay. At least you're still there. We're still going. I think my computer is like, ouch. I might have to upgrade something. All right. Let's see if this works. All right. And do that. And oh my! I'm getting it done. Yes.
Yay.
Nancy is here with Reselling into Retirement. Welcome, welcome, Nancy. All right. So, for anybody that is looking to or wondering what I'm talking about when I talk about the workbook, most everyone that is in the reseller, it may be me trying to do too much, Nancy. I'm not sure yet. Still learning. Still trying to figure this out. I may need to actually pay for StreamYard. But this is the workbook. It's very simple, and that was the whole point in it, is just to keep it as simple as possible so that those that are new to bookkeeping, new to accounting, and new maybe even to business will actually do the work to keep up with your stuff and so that you're ready for tax season, so that you're ready to get it knocked out and have have all this stuff done. And by the time April 15th comes around, right? We don't want to be dragging this and having this thing hang over our head all year. I have had people that I just helped them get their stuff done in October for the October 15th deadline, right? So my point is that I want to help you guys understand what you're doing so that you can make the right decisions in the right year and not be putting it off until the end of next year. Because if you're putting it off until the end of the next year, then you're probably not getting all the deductions that you are eligible for. So, And Nancy said that she identifies with that particular statement. So whatever I can do to help you, reach out, ask me the questions, ask me now. I've got my OneNote up already so that I can type in any questions that you guys have, things that maybe I need to elaborate on in shorter or other videos, but I will do my best to answer any questions that you have here today. And again, if you're just here and you are using this time the way that I designed it, which is to be able to have that time set aside that you know that, okay, on the first Wednesday of every month, I'm going to go sit with Cheryl while she does the book, while we do the bookkeeping and do it together. And then if I have a question, I can ask her really quick and get it answered. So if you need to, mute us, do your bookkeeping. If you have a question, jump on. I am trying to watch the chat. And then there's also a link in the chat that if you want to come on with Kimmery and I can do up to 6 people if my computer will let me. So I look forward to getting through this hour today with you guys, and hopefully by the end of it, everybody will have their bookkeeping up to date, or at least be well on their way to having it up to date for the month of October, so that we can have it off of our plate for November. I don't know about you guys, but when I have that stuff hanging over my head, whatever it is, if it's accounting, if it's doing the dishes, if whatever it is, if I have something hanging over my head that I am putting on the back burner and I keep pushing it aside, it makes everything else worse. So whatever I can do to help you guys knock this stuff out first of the month, I am here to help you do. So let's put Alex's question up. Alex says, hey, so on the total snapshot section, the net doesn't include eBay fees. Would the CPA apply that? The net, so let me show you the total snapshots page. So if you are using this, you should be putting your gross in, not the net. Because the net from eBay is actually saying that after the fees, and you want to actually count the gross, because the gross is what is going to be coming on the 1099 from eBay. So you put the gross in, and then you put in your expenses. So you would go to your performance sales tab on eBay, and you would pull the number for the month. So in this case, we're looking at October, hopefully. And so we're going to pull it from 10/1 to 10/31, and then it's going to show the gross on the left-hand side. Then it's going to show taxes collected by eBay. We're going to ignore that. And then it's going to show eBay fees, and that's the number we want to get, and we want to grab that number and put it into our expenses. And when we put it into expenses, what we're going to do is put 10, 31, 22, and we'll hit this little drop down menu and put cost of goods, other costs, eBay, and we're going to call it $500. Whoops. Somebody has a really big store. And just eBay fees. And that includes your shipping, your promoted, your coupons. It includes all of the stuff that you are paying eBay, right? So then that way, when you come over to your total snapshots page and you right click and refresh, What in the world? Then it will show up there, and it will show up under expenses down here. So if we have our January numbers in, then you've got your total and your expenses. And then when you put your mileage in, it will calculate your net to that point. Nancy says, do I need to have 3 workbooks for each business we have? So, Nancy, that depends on the businesses that you have. Now, for example, my business is, I have several sources of revenue that come in, and all those sources of revenue are under one business. So I am able to have everything into one spreadsheet. All of my expenses come out. I do one Schedule C. Everything is together under one. However, if you have, for example, if you have real estate, then you would want to keep real estate separate from your other business. That's just one really good example of a type of company that would definitely need to be kept separate from anything else. So it depends on what types of businesses you have and how you have them worked out. All right. Oh, okay. So Alex says that he thought it was supposed to be brought over from the eBay number tracking page. So the gross, if you are using the eBay, the tracking page, which is, let me hide that, the eBay number tracking page, then if you use the monthly section, then putting your sales of $2,000 hit here. Well, let me go back over here and do. So now if I go back to here and put in my sales of $2,000, then when you go back to total snapshots, it automatically calculates. But that's the only thing that calculates. I did not make it, because all your expenses need to be in one place. So having the net over here, the difference, you need to actually make the entry for the expenses for eBay fees. So Nancy says, reselling into retirement. My husband has a logging operation. I have reselling, and I am a manufacturer's rep, which is separate from reselling. Then in that particular case, you are filing separately for your taxes. So then running this for 3 separate businesses would be the optimal way to do it. And you already have it, just make a copy for each business. Once you buy it for yourself, making copies for yourself, I have absolutely no issue with. Just hope that you don't share it without them making the purchase. All right, so do we have any? So Nancy says that was her burning question. And Nancy has her own YouTube channel. So Nancy, can you put that link in here? Because you are doing interviews with other resellers, correct? That are 55 and older, if I remember correctly. All right. So Nancy, feel free to drop your channel in the chat so that anybody that is watching can follow and subscribe to your channel. And I'm not there yet, people, so she can't interview me yet. And she's looking for guests to interview. So if you are 55-year-olds or older and you are a reseller, reach out to Nancy, join her on her channel, and talk reselling with her. And I'm sure other life events. Right, the new handle. So I got my new handle for YouTube. So I am getting branded across everything with SAW Cheryl. So Simplified Accounting with Cheryl. Saw Cheryl. So that'll get dropped in the chat here shortly. What else do we have going on? Do we have any questions? Kimberly, did you have a question? Well, thank you for coming on. So I don't feel like I'm all by myself. I hope you get good news when you go to the doctor later.
Oh my gosh, me too.
So this is the number tracking page. Across the top is to do by week. And all this, and then the next section is by month. So it's the same information, it's just you have by week and then you have by calendar month. And it really helps you kind of see when you make little changes, whether you add a coupon or you change a sale or you change what you're doing for promoted listings. It really kind of helps you judge what exactly is helping or hurting your business. So for example, earlier this year, I did this huge markdown sale. I was trying to wipe out all the jeans that I had in my inventory, and I did a 70% off sale. And yeah, I sold a bunch of the jeans, and that was great. And I had an exorbitant amount of sales for the month, but like I didn't make any more money. In fact, I made less money. So I found out the hard way, about keeping my sales at a level that will support everything else and still bring in what I'm looking for my net, right? So, for example, I realized that with my niche and what the average pricing that I usually do, I'm able to not run, a big coupon or a big sale, because people are going to come buy that when they're ready to come buy it. And I have to wait for those people. I don't have what I have is evergreen. So, my prices can stay pretty stable, and running a big sale doesn't help my store. It doesn't help my store. It doesn't give me any more sales. So the having that, being able to do this month by month, I was able to realize what was working best for me and my store and see it. And yes, all of it is available in eBay, with the exception of how many I listed versus how many I sold. So, and what my cost of goods in relation to that was. But, here I have everything right there next to each other so that I can look at it together. And being able to look at June versus July versus August, it really made a lot more sense to me. Oh, let's see. There is a link up here. Doo-doo-doo. So I don't know. There's the link. Can't remember I don't have it available to paste right quick. But that's the link, and if you go to that, if you have StreamYard and you go to that link, then you'll be able to jump on with us. And I can have up to 6 people, so come on. Alex says, what percentage of net do you hold for taxes? I'm still learning, obviously. So one of the things that I'm working on is a way, like a calculator for your taxes. So the way that you're going to look at it, if you have any W-2 members in your household, then and you're filing taxes together, then you're going to be taking what they're paying in into consideration as well. If you are a LLC or a sole prop, then everything goes to your Schedule C, which goes to your 1040. So after you take all of your business expenses out, and here's this total snapshot. This net right here, now it's taking out your gross, it's taking out your expenses, and it's taking out your mileage. The only thing this is not taking out, and it kind of gives you a cushion, is the tax that eBay is paying on our behalf. It's currently included in the gross, and so it's still included in the net, and I did that on purpose. It did that so that it gives us a bit of a cushion when we are planning for how much to withhold and put aside to pay for taxes and Medicare, Social Security, self-employment taxes, so that we should have a little bit more than what we're going to need, right? There is a tax table that you can get. And like I said, I'm trying to put together a calculator and that'll come out, and I'll just be giving that away later on, so that you just be able to kind of plug what your net is in at that time, and then figure out like single, married, head of household, and then it'll have a link to the tax tables attached to it, so that you can kind of look and say, okay, if my net is currently at $50,000, then this is approximately what my tax bill is going to be, for example, just using whole big numbers. But for now, I mean, the going number is like 20%. But again, that's just a very basic number, and it's going to change based on your situation. You may only be at like 10%, or somebody else may be at 30%. But if you go with 20%, then you're going to have at least a solid foundation to work with, and you won't be blindsided. So I hope that helps for now. Well, I can't see who they are, but we've still got people watching. So if you're watching, send me a thumbs up, put a comment in the chat. Let me know that you're here. Let me know where you're from. Are you a reseller? Are you in the reseller Nirvana group that I'm a part of? Most everybody that I see currently, I know is over there. Honey and Lace Felicia, hi. It's great to see you. Thanks for coming and watching. She says, I have many handles. Kimmery, Nancy is saying, does she need to have a StreamYard account to join? She's having a problem. Did you have to make an account or just download it?
No,
What did you?
I just downloaded it. I didn't have to set up an account. It's asking me to sign up, but I did not.
I hope that answers your question, Nancy. I wish I could see these pictures better.
You do have to be on Chrome, though.
Oh, okay. Kim is here from Indiana. I'm telling you what, I've been through Indiana two times? I think twice. And both times it poured. I mean, you could not see the end of the car I was driving. It poured. And my husband had the same experience when he was a kid and came through Indiana. So I'm glad to see you here. I would be happy to see you somewhere out when we're, networking at an event somewhere, but not in Indiana. That place just scares me. There was no place to get off the road. You couldn't see to get off the road. It was horrible. All right, let me see if I can get this link again. Here. Five, 6, 3, BURW9Q. There we go. So yeah, anybody that wants to come on, click the link and follow whatever the instructions are and come on. I can have up to 6 people at a time, I believe. But depending on what this does, oh, am I still blurry? Are we still blurry? You don't think so, Kim? Okay, that's good. All right. Do we have any other questions? How are people coming along on their bookkeeping? So there's the expenses. There's the mileage. So it's up to 4 vehicles. Oh, look, yay! Nancy. Hi, Nancy.
I'm in the show.
Yay!
Yay. Thank you for dropping that link. I appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, I just thought I've got a couple of questions and I thought it'd be so much easier to ask the questions than to put them in chat. And I didn't want to like dominate the chat, like I was, but I have a question regarding something that you touched on last week, something about having separate bank accounts for your businesses. Okay. So this is what's confusing for me. We have 3 businesses. Like I have 2 businesses and my husband has a business. Do we need 3, an account for each one?
Okay, so generally speaking, I would say no. But because you guys have completely separate businesses and that's the way that you're running them, you don't want to accidentally apply an expense or income to one that should have gone to the other. So if you're able to keep that separate, I think it's better. I personally would think it would be better to have them separate.
Yeah.
That way, you know for sure that your each business, the income and the expenses are separate. Also, I will take a step back and say that yes, you should definitely keep them separate, because if there was, for example, with your husband's logging business, that is definitely a place that you could get sued, right? So somebody could attack his business, but because that business is its own entity, it's got its own bank account, it's everything is kept separate. It's nobody's going to be able to go against your personal finances or your other businesses.
Mm-hmm. Because we're in well, all of our businesses are LLCs.
Right. So, but still, being that the funds are commingled in a bank account, even though the businesses are separate LLCs, a lawyer would get around that and say, well, they're all together. And so they would try and go after everything as far as your businesses instead of just the one.
Yep. Okay.
So it would just further limit any liability.
Right.
And anybody trying to come after anything other than the one thing that they had the issue with.
Right. Okay. I mean, we have 3 accounts now. It's just we kind of we don't run it like a business. We're a mess, but we're getting it together. You know, I mean, we're getting it together. Another question that I have is on the mileage, because that's a kind of a tricky subject, because for instance, when I travel, I might travel for work, you know, my regular job. And then along the way, if I'm gone for a couple of days, I'm thrifting. And then my husband will call me 99.9% of the time, I'm picking up things for his business, like supplies and things like that. So as far as the mileage goes, how do I distribute that between the 3 businesses?
Well, I mean, I don't think it's necessarily that you need to distribute it between the 3 businesses. If you're traveling for the regular job and you're able to calculate all your mileage for the regular job and all your travel expenses for that, if you're already, what's the word I'm looking for? If all of those expenses for that particular trip are already culminated, collected, totaled, I can't think of the word I'm looking for, in that one, under that one business, mm-hmm. then there's no need to separate it for the other 2.
Okay.
If it's not, so if for some reason that you are not able to, darn it, what's the word I'm looking for? If you're not able to take all of the expenses under that one business, then you need to look at how you can apply what you can't take to the other 2. Okay. If you're doing work for the other 2 while you're gone.
Okay.
Generally speaking, if you are going from point A to point B, traveling for business for company A, then all of your mileage there, all of your travel expenses to get there, are covered. All of your travel expenses to get back are covered, regardless of what else you do while you're on the trip. Even if you were to take a personal day and go sightseeing,
Mm-hmm.
or a personal afternoon and go sightseeing. Everything else to get there and get back is automatically covered.
Mm-hmm.
While you are there, if you are doing business, then the days that you do business, your lodging, and your meals are also covered. So if you are gone for 5 days and one of those days you're not doing business for company A, but you do end up doing business for company B, then okay, you can take the lodging and the meals for company B on that day.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
I just wanted to make sure that I was doing the right thing. I mean, that's pretty much what I've been doing, but I just wanted to be real sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what I mean, having multiple streams of income is wonderful because there's almost always somewhere where you can take an expense.
Oh yeah, yeah, and we do. I mean, we do, because every time we leave the house, it's something for business. And I've had accountants say to me, "Oh, it can't be." I'm like, "Well, yes, it is, because when you're self-employed, you're working all the time.
Exactly.
You're working all the time, you know."
And I myself, I mean, because I get to work from home, most of my inventory comes to me now. So if I go and get in that monster truck that we bought, I am making sure that I am it's for business.
Oh yeah.
There may be some personal involved in it, but I am making sure that business is definitely involved in it.
Mm-hmm.
And, because gas being what it is.
It's more like gallons to the mile instead of miles to the gallon.
Right. So yeah, I mean, all it takes is for us to be cognizant of what we're doing and make plans for every trip before we leave the house. Mm-hmm. And just say, okay, I need some groceries. What else do I need to do while I'm out? Mm-hmm. And make sure that the furthest point you go to is business, mm-hmm. and then everything else is okay.
Yep. Cool.
So yeah, like for example, that truck, if every mile that I put on there this year is business, then I'm going to be able to 179 deduct 100% of the cost of that truck, including interest. Mm-hmm. All this year, 70 grand. And so long as I make enough, and if I don't make enough, then part of that will get rolled into next year.
Right.
So, yep.
Yeah, that's the nice thing about self-employment. That's for sure. I mean, the things that you can buy and the things that you can write off, and I mean, as long as you do it, within a as long as it's not outrageous,
Right. Ordinary and necessary. Mm-hmm. Ordinary and necessary. Totally Thrift. Hi, welcome from sunny Orlando, Florida. Do I'm in Maryland and it's 70s this week? 70 degrees in the first week of November. Crazy. So yeah, I mean, just being mindful, making sure we take everything that we're able to take. Ordinary and necessary is the keys. Totally Thrifty says we met at FlipCon. Awesome. I had such a good time at FlipCon. Can't wait to go back or to FlipCon or another one of these reseller networking events. It was so much fun. Are you in the group also? Are you in the Reseller Nirvana group also? And since you have a handle on here, I am guessing, yay! I am guessing that you also have a YouTube channel, so drop it in the chat. And if you look up a little bit in the comments, there is a link that if you'd like to jump on to our live here, come on. I've got like 14 more minutes. And then I'm going to stop this. We bought a camper about 2 months ago, and I have to go to MVA and get all of that paperwork stuff done. So believe it or not, they're doing appointments only. I had to have an appointment in order to go. I went by there yesterday, and they're like, yeah, no, we can't talk to you. You got to have an appointment. I said, well, I don't want it for here then. Give me closer to my house. So that's for today at 2 o'clock. So,
what kind of camper did you get, Cheryl?
I'm sorry?
What kind of camper did you get?
It's a pop-up. And
Oh,
I've
cool.
never slept in a pop-up before. In fact, I've never slept in a camper before. Maybe that's not quite true. But generally speaking, we have tented. Since my husband and I have been together, everything we've done has been tenting. And we've got the 2 dogs now. And we wanted something, and we're getting older. So we wanted something that was just a little bit easier, a little bit less work to get set up, because I like to take, I'm not going to say I glamp, but I camp comfortably.
Mm-hmm.
So, air mattresses, I have blankets, I have fans, I have heaters, I have whatever I need. I'm comfortable. I have my coffee pot, I have electric, I have water. But it's all been in a tent so far.
Wow.
And now we have the pop-up, which we bought used. And I'm super excited to go camping in it. And I have reservations for Veterans Day weekend. So what is that? 2 weekends? Next weekend? It's next weekend! Yay! We get to go camping next weekend. So we are going to one of our favorite campgrounds, which is not necessarily our favorite area, but it's our favorite campground, and it is in Hi, Catherine!
Hi.
It is in Virginia Beach, Virginia, the KOA down there, and we always have such a blast. And for those that do drink, there's a brewery that's not that far away. So, yeah, me too. There's a brewery that's not that far away, and it's really good. It's New Realm Brewing, and they actually do more than just beer. So it's been fun when we've gone. They usually have bands and things like that. There's a few different resellers that are down there, so maybe I'll get to meet up with 1 or 2 of them while we're down there. But this is going to just be break out the camper and test it out and make sure everything works, and just kind of relax and wind down, because it's been a rough couple of months. So
Sounds like fun.
Yeah, it sounds like a good time. Hope the weather holds out for you.
You know what? I don't even care. I mean, I like it. It's the pop-up. I've got canopies. I've got heaters. I'm going to have electric. I've got electric blankets. My dogs are the ones that I'm worried about, because they are like, I have one pitty that has a snowsuit because he is so cold-natured. We found out the hard way when we went camping with him.
No.
He woke up in the middle of the night shivering, like, I'm so cold.
Aww.
So yeah. So he has a base layer. He has pajamas. He has a snowsuit. The only thing we haven't found is some kind of booties to put on him to keep his feet protected in the wintertime and ice and the snow. Because last year his poor little pads got all tore up.
Yeah, he's going to need little sorrels, you know.
Yeah, right.
You lace up and their fur around them. And
Yep. That would be great. I even tried baby socks and put baby socks on him, and then put the paper tape for like wound care,
You know,
around so he wouldn't get hurt and it wouldn't pull the hair off of his. I even tried that, and we didn't make it 5 feet out the door before one was gone. Never found it again.
Well, you know, they have booties for the dogs that pull the dog sleds, you know, the mushers. So, I mean, I know that those are around, or you can get those.
Chewy sells them.
Who? What? Chewy
sells.
Oh, Chewy
dog.
sells them. Oh,
Yep.
wow. Good idea.
There's a brand called Muck Lux that I might try. But the problem is they're pitties, and they've got these big pads and then these small little ankles. And so in order to get it over their feet, it's got to be big. In order for it to stay on, it's got to be small. And I haven't found anything that. And then he's looking at us like we have lost our mind when we try to put him on. So
Yeah, my dog will not let you put anything on her feet, on her head, and we even tried a Halloween costume, and she tore that off as well. She thought it was to play, and she tore it off.
Where do I have it? I wonder if I could find it. Oh well, I'll have to save it for another time. We have one Halloween. We didn't do Halloween with the dogs this year. Last year we did, and the first pitty we have, the brown and white one, he was Chucky. He was Chucky. So,
Oh my God.
and it's got these arms on it, and with a knife. And so when he walks, the arms go like this, and the knife is going like this. But we couldn't keep the wig on top of his ears, or his ears kind of do this number,
Mhm.
so the wig wouldn't stay on his head. But it was so funny.
Yeah, I've seen it on TikTok. It's hilarious.
So I want to get the post office one for my other dog with the package.
I hate to bring this back, but I apologize. I joined late, and
It's okay.
I had put the little alert to alert me when you were going to go on, and it didn't go off.
Oh,
So I'm glad that you're at this point, because the question that I had was related to mileage.
oh,
I've only been in business under my corporation for 2 years. Last year was the first tax season, which let's just say I had to file for an extension because
you're not alone.
it was a rough couple of months to get the information together. So inexperience, what I did last year was I just divided up my mileage and said, okay, so I actually use my car more for sourcing than I do for traveling. It's an older car, so I generally source close to my house. So I figured, divide it up, half business, half pleasure. Kind of got away with it last year. But by the time that I got around to doing finishing off my taxes, half this year had gone by.
Right.
So I started doing mileage at that point with, the old notebook in the car. And then the notebook got lost. So at this point, I'm kind of starting from scratch. So
I have an easy way for you to do this.
please enlighten me.
Grab out your receipts and put them in order And as you see in the example that's on the screen, you're supposed to have it written, and it's supposed to be written out by day.
Got
And
it.
so, I mean, obviously, if you didn't do anything on that day, you don't need an entry on that day. But the reason that I did it like this was so that we can visualize, okay, because a lot of times, especially with resellers, we do the same thing. We go to the same places on the same days and over and over and over again. So like we can literally go, okay, every Monday I do this, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, and go right down the line. Post office is a big one, which is why my example says post office in there. You know, so a lot of things we do on a regular basis. But the easiest way to do it is, one, because you already have an ending number for last year, go grab that from your taxes for your beginning odometer reading for this year. And then you're going to take your receipts, get them in date order, and go through and say, okay, on January 5th, I went to Goodwill in Smithtown, and I went to Unique, and I went to Salvation Army, and I drove a total of 75 miles there and back.
That's awesome.
There you go.
Never would have thought of that, but that's awesome.
Receipts is the only way to go. Now, that being said, it doesn't mean that you had to buy something. Sometimes we go and we hit our favorite thrift store and we strike out. So if that particular thrift store was the furthest one away, then just make yourself a little note. Or when you hit the next one, put a little note on the top. I went to Goodwill at whatchamacallit first and didn't get it, and zero, you know. So just put a little note on the top so when you hit that receipt, you can say, oh, I still went there first. I just didn't get anything.
So how do you feel about the apps? Because I tested, what is it called? Hurdle.
Hurdle, right? Yeah, Hurdle. There's MileIQ. There's a few of them, and I have used them in the past. I've used them when because of what I was doing at the time, I was required to keep mileage per customer that I was visiting. Now that's not the case, right? So all I need is the total thing there and the total thing back. And my issue with having the apps is every time you make a stop, like I might make a stop to go potty. Okay. And then it's going to want me to swipe left or right for business or personal. Well, it's personally business. You know, or it makes it really difficult to delete out that line but keep it going. So that's why I'm like, nix the apps, don't pay for them. It's a waste of money, in my opinion. If it works for you, then great, it works for you. If you can figure out how to make it work for you where it's not extra work, go for it. And I'm all for paying for something if it cuts down time. If it gives you your time back, that you can go list another item, that you can go do something else that is, ooh, I got a new one, IPA, and it's not beer. It's income producing activity. So if you can pay for something that's gonna make you money by giving you your time back, then by all means pay for it. But if it's costing you more time and it's not being beneficial and you're paying for it, then nix it. Do something like what I have on the screen here. Whether you have it from the workbook or you do it yourself, it makes it super easy to copy and paste. If you do it in some type of an Excel spreadsheet and have all your dates and your days and then let it total the whole thing up. The reason that I have in this January through June and then July through December is because this year we got an increase in our in the mileage rate that we're allotted, and it changed at the middle of the year. So I have it separated so that, you know, it calculates based on the right mileage rate. Also, there's a lot of times when we have one vehicle, for whatever reason, we sell it, we get rid of it, we quit using it, and we go to another vehicle. So then that's why I have separate vehicles on here, because you have to keep your mileage separate for each one. And if you stop using one and you start using another, then you want to stop using one section and start using another. So, and some people actually have 4 in here, because I had one client come to me and say, well, we use 3 vehicles. Okay. Then I put 4 in there. I haven't had anybody tell me yet that they had 5. So if I have anybody come back and tell me they've got 5, then maybe I'll add another set of 4. Or I'll just tell you, copy that tab and move it to a new tab. All right. Well, let's see. I've got all right, so we're getting ready to stop, but I'm going to throw my little ticker that I just learned about across the bottom of the screen. So if anybody is looking to purchase the workbook that is actually being shown on the screen right now, it also has a home office calculator, so you can figure out what all your bills are for the year. You won't actually put those in your expenses yet either, because we don't know whether it's going to be long form or short form on your taxes. So it will help you calculate and help your tax accountant help you make the decision on which form to use. And also, if you are enjoying it and would like to become an affiliate, then feel free to grab that link, become an affiliate, and share it, and you can make some money off of it too. And I thank you guys so much for being here today.
Thank you, Cheryl.
Thanks for coming on, Nancy, Catherine. Thank you, ladies, for coming on with me today and making this so much more enjoyable for me. I hope that the other people that are watching also enjoyed it. And I will see you guys back next month if you are not in the group. And if you are in the Reseller Nirvana podcast group, then I will see you tomorrow at 1 Eastern for the accounting call in the group. And thanks again for everybody for being here. Y'all have a great day.